Hari.
What is meditation?
What is meditation? To bring your attention back to yourself, to come back home to the present, to be here now in that timelessness of the now. That is what I call meditation. Whether you are sitting down with crossed legs and closed eyes, or whether you are walking, you can meditate. Then there are all these meditation techniques. You can learn these techniques and get better in these techniques, and they are a crutch for the mind. It's not that we have to learn a meditation technique and then become an adept in that technique and getting better and better in order to achieve something. The meditation techniques, okay, you may develop this or develop that with a certain technique, but the main point is that it's a crutch for the mind to give us a help to do exactly that, to bring the attention home to that timelessness of the now. That's the essence of all the meditation techniques. And it doesn't matter if one feels to learn and practice a particular technique is fine, but it's good to remember the point of it is to help you to become aware here now. Here now, that timelessness of the present is the only point where you are touching reality. All else is in the mind. Even a moment before, it's just a memory. It's so totally a different category. But that living moment now, only now, you feel that flow of life, you feel that bubbling presence, you feel that beautiful creativity that wants to express itself. A moment before is already a memory. We are holding on to, we're feeding it with emotions and try to give it a life that it doesn't deserve. And missing where the life is now. We are projecting in the future, having all kinds of thoughts, what could happen, what should happen, what should not happen, being afraid about things that could happen, draining our life force, filling those expectations with our energy, which are totally in the mind, missing that one living moment. It's always there, that sense of presence. And nobody can say, I don't know that. It's the most intimate. When you say, I, immediately your attention is touching something so totally familiar. I, now. When we start to think, then we start to make all kinds of stories. I'm like this, I'm like that, and this is that has happened, this may happen. But just I. It's so totally familiar, that sense of presence. And yet you cannot say you know it, because knowing usually means I think about it, I can analyze it, I can put it into boxes. You cannot know it, but you are that. And meditation means you bring the attention back home to that in one way or another. At least for me.
Would you say then it's not just being aware of the present moment, but being aware of yourself?
Right. This comes automatic. Well, of course, we can be aware of the present moment and then bring the attention back to that present moment with a sense perception, with something that we are seeing or hearing, or smelling, or feeling, body sensations, being aware of the breath. But then, right, if we not getting locked in that content of the sense perception, but simply relax, then you come to that sense of presence, and that is the self.
And you could do it also by just having the memory of ourself, but not ourself giving it a definition, but just like pure selfhood. No?
Yes. The memory can help you to bring you in touch. And then there is just that immediate, direct awareness. And then we just somehow stay with it and learn to relax. Not try to hold it, because when we hold it, then immediately then the mind is there and now I have it, there already it's gone. Just again and again bring the attention back to that. And we can use the memory. We can use the memory of a nice experience. We can use the memory of a good pointer that we have learned in the scriptures from a teacher from somewhere, but then let go of the memory and just be. Like the sense perceptions, we have to let go of the content. Also, we have to let go of the content of the memory. The memory just points, and then it brings the attention back to that living moment. And in that we learn to relax. And if we do that again and again, the habit will pull the attention always away again. But if we do that again and again, it will start to happen that suddenly you don't even try. Out of the blue, you feel in touch. There is peace, there is ease. Everything seems simple and easy. And then the mind starts again, and then we go again, and then we think, what the heck did I do wrong? It was that. Didn't do anything wrong. It was just not time to stay with that. Somehow the psychophysical manifestation has also to be ready that the attention can stay there, because the energy is increasing and increasing, and somehow this has also to be ready for that.
And what would you say about the position of the so-called witness?
The witness. Witnessing is a good way of bringing the attention back to that present. But then be careful not to create a witness, because then you make a new person, a new me. I'm witnessing the other me. And then you have to create another one to witness the witness. And then you have to create another one to witness the witness of the witness. And so it goes on. Witnessing is happening all the time. There is that aspect in you that is absolutely not affected by anything that is happening, and yet eagerly experiencing all that. Witnessing is happening all the time, and witnessing, so being the witness is more like opening up to that fact that there is that aspect, that immovable aspect in you, that witnessing is anyhow happening. And by witnessing what's going on, observing your reaction, observing your emotional reactions to the situation, observing what is happening in your body, observing the body sensations, observing the breath, all that can help you to detach. Because usually when we are not aware of it, we are so totally immersed in that whole story. If we're not stopping, then there is that total identification. From the moment one wakes up till we go to sleep, it just goes round, 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 me, I, me, mine, and the others out there. So when you start to witness, then already you're detaching from that. But then simply don't create the me, I'm witnessing now, but just stay with witnessing and relax.
So you could also say that the so-called witness merges with the experience, and there is no other.
Right. That there is not really a witness.
No.
Right.
So there's nothing left.
Right.
This is God's light.
Witnessing is there, happening all the time. You can bring the attention to the fact that it's there. And doing so helps you to detach from all the mental obsessions that we are attached to.
Okay, thank you.
It's probably the essence of witnessing, it's probably just being detached, no?
Well, yes, right. That witnessing is happening, that aspect that is aware of all this but not affected is totally detached. There is absolutely no attachment. And then somehow it happened when growing up, identifying with this body, we create that me personality. And identify with that role. Instead of being aware, okay, this is just a channel to connect on this level, in this play, in this theater, in this game. But instead of being aware that we are just, that there is just that role, we are identifying with it and create that sense of I. But that even that sense of I in the person is not separate from the real I, it's just a reflection. That's why we can very well also just investigate in the I, but then not start to give the whole explanations what I am. And even when somebody does self-inquiry and ask the question, who am I? It's not a question that ever has an answer. It's not a question that we can ask and ask and ask, and eventually I get it. You are the answer. And the question, who am I, is just one way to catching the attention on the mental activity and the mental obsession where we are, and bringing back to that which makes the experience possible. Call it self, call it the divine, call it whatever. The essence. Yes?
What is enlightenment?
Sorry?
What is enlightenment?
Yeah, that I also wonder.
No, I mean, it's the big problem, but whatever, or how happens that? Something like it.
Enlightenment is a concept.
Yes.
You are that. Full of light, you don't need any enlightenment. But then that concept is there in the current, and it may give you an incentive. Hearing that if you struggle, at the end you get enlightened, and then you are fine. It's very well possible that on the way suddenly you rotate from a certain perspective into a totally new perspective. And then one chapter may be closed, and there is the base, from there it continues. Essentially, you are always the same, and yet the experience of that essence can unfold and unfold. And there's no end to it. There's not a point where you can say, no, I got it all. Wherever you are, there is still infinity. Pure. Essentially, being the same, the experience is unfolding. So, where do you want to put the label enlightenment?